Hello, I'm wbz-tv meteorologist Barry Burbank, and I have your forecast for the next several days. Let's have a little preview of this new month, which started yesterday, the month of December, after our completely bleak and dismal month of November, living up to its reputation as being the gloomiest month of the year. Certainly then some this year with all the rain and inclement weather that we had, with below average temperatures too for the second half of the month. Well, what about December? On average, the high temperature at the beginning of the month is 46. By the end of the month, as we get close to New Year's Eve, the high is down to 37. As far as snowfall goes in Boston, on average, you get 7.7 inches. But the most snow that fell in the month of December occurred back in 1970, when almost 28 inches of snow fell in the city. Last year, we had a little over 9 inches of snow in Boston in December 2017. Well, the winter solstice is getting closer. That's on December 21st, and the solstice happens at 5:23 p.m. The official beginning of astronomical winter. Of course, meteorological winter began yesterday on December 1st. But anyway, December 21st is the shortest day of the year. Sunrise on that day is 7:10, sunset at 4:15. By the way, the earliest sunset of the year is just days away, 6 days away, on December 8th. That's the earliest sunset of the year. Then after that, it slowly gets a little bit later by just a few seconds, at least initially. Well, of course, we're getting ready for that big game at Foxborough today at Gillette Stadium as the Pats take on the Vikings. Early this morning, as of this recording time, around 9:30 this morning, we're in the low to getting in the middle 40s. A little over ½ inch of rain there so far, and more to come, but most of it will be done by the time we get close to kickoff. However, if you're going to be there for tailgating, expect rainy weather off and on, showers becoming more scattered, so the rain will be decreasing as the afternoon goes along. By the time we get to kickoff, I think it's just going to be cloudy. And on the breezy side, and look at these temperatures, can you believe it's actually going to be rising as we get close to kickoff instead of falling that you'd normally expect this time of the year, and maybe around 56 near the end of the game. So how about that? Can't rule out a shower passing over the stadium or just a touch of mist a couple of times during the game, but for the most part, most of the rain will be all done by the time we get to kickoff at 4:25. So the rain moves through, showery nature, as you can see. There might be one final batch of rain which comes up, especially the first half of this afternoon, and it pours, and then just sort of tapers off to scattered showers as this wave of low pressure comes through New England. To the south of the storm track, that's where all the warm air is going to be pulled northward, up into the Boston area and right along the Mass Pike. Off to the northwest, although it's going to turn milder than it is now, it's not going to get in the 50s. Low to middle 40s should do it out there. And even tonight, it's going to fall to the 40s most spots. So it's going to be a mild night. It starts to turn partly cloudy tomorrow morning. It's still going to be on the mild side. Look, low to middle 50s tomorrow morning and into the afternoon hours as we get intervals of sunshine. Can't rule out a scattered shower in the afternoon as a cold front comes on through, but that should be it, and the temperatures will be falling late tomorrow afternoon. So far, as of 9 to 9:30 this morning, we've had about a ½ inch in many locations, a few spots a little bit less, a few spots a little bit more. The snowfall today will be up in the western mountains of Maine for the most part, and some of the northern White Mountains before it mixes with sleet and freezing rain there. And there's where the greatest chance of the warmest weather will be today: southeastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island, up through the Mass Pike, and possibly just areas just north of Boston by late this afternoon. And it'll be warmer on the eastern seaboard, getting up to 61 in Philly, Washington, D.C., down to 72 in Atlanta for today. And so the Carolinas and down into Atlanta, which may have some severe thunderstorms scattered in those spots this afternoon along this frontal boundary, which will come to the coastline as that wave of low pressure comes on up here. So in that warm sector this afternoon, we have some wind, and it may actually pick up to 20 to 40 miles an hour in gusts. It's not sustained wind. It's not going to be steady winds of 20 to 40, but some gusts of 20 up to 40 here. Yet in the northern Massachusetts northward, there's going to be practically no wind at all close to that weather front. So it's southeastern Mass which gets most of the wind into the evening hours. And then overnight tonight, the wind drops off. And then for tomorrow, this cold front here will come through later in the afternoon with maybe a brief shower, but most of the showers in the form of snow will be up across the mountains late in the day. Then the cold weather takes over. On Wednesday, there is going to be a storm forming, but it looks like it's going to be far to the south of us, at least far enough to escape hitting New England. Will remain unscathed here as this storm is driven out to sea by the jet stream, which brings the mild air in tomorrow. The cold air comes in on Tuesday into Wednesday and for most of the rest of the week. What we're watching is a lot of cold air coming across the poles and dropping down into Canada. We'll have to see what happens with that. No sign we're going to get a direct hit by that. But But we are going to have very cold weather here for about 5 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Highs in the low and middle 30s most of those days, lows in the 20s at night. But at least it'll be storm-free. There'll be nothing more than a scattered snow shower north and west of Boston later Thursday. So at long last, we get a 5-day stretch of dry weather, and that hasn't happened since way back in late August. How about that? That's your forecast for now. Have a nice rest of the weekend.